Example C, we're given our angle diagram and we want to work out angle H. The easiest way to work out angle H is to draw a suitable letter U such that 80 degrees and H are interior angles. And the way to do that is we're going to trace over the two parallel lines and then the line connecting them at the bottom. So what we clearly have is a letter U because it contains two parallel lines, and then the 80 degree angle and the angle H lie inside the U and they lie at the joints of the U, so they are interior angles, which means they add up to 180 degrees. So to get angle H, we're going to subtract 80 from 180, and that's going to leave us with 100. So H is equal to 100 degrees, and that's because of the U rule. Okay, let's look at example D. So example D, we have a complicated looking diagram and there are three angles in the middle, I, J and K, which we're trying to find. We're given an angle of 45 degrees at the bottom and an angle of 40 degrees at the top. Well, if we start at the top, we can get angle J by drawing a suitable letter U such that 40 degrees and J will be interior angles. So to do that, I'm going to trace over the line which joins 40 degrees and J, trace over the top parallel line, and then we're going to trace over this middle parallel line. And we're going to have our letter U. It's clearly a letter U because it contains two parallel lines, which means the angle 40 and the angle J are interior angles because they lie inside the U and they lie at the joints of the U. So therefore they will add up to 180 degrees. So to get J, we're going to subtract 40 from 180, and that's just going to give us 140. So J is equal to 140 degrees, and the reason is because of the U rule. And then we'll pencil that in our diagram. Now, we could try and get angle K by doing the same thing. This time we're going to draw a suitable letter U such that K and 45 will be interior angles. So again, I'm going to trace over the bottom parallel line, the middle parallel line, and then the line connecting them. Like that. So again, we have another letter U because it contains two parallel lines, and that means the angle K and the 45 degree angle are interior angles because they lie inside the U and they lie at the joints of the U. So that means they add up to 180 degrees. So to get angle K, we're going to subtract 45 degrees from 180 degrees, and that's going to leave us with 135 degrees. And again, our reason there is the U rule. And then we'll pencil that in our diagram. So that just leaves us with angle I. Now, to get angle I, what we can do is actually use angles at a point because J, K and I all lie around a single point here. So that means they all add up to 360 degrees. So in order to get angle I, we're going to add angle J and K together to get their total, and then we're going to subtract their total from 360. So let's add 140 and 135 first. And again, we must show we're working out when there's more than one calculation to be done. So that's going to give us 275. We're then going to subtract 275 from the total angle here around the point, which is 360. So we're going to have to borrow 1 from the 6, carry it over. So 10 subtract 5, that leaves us with 5. We're going to have to borrow from the 3 and then bring over to make 15. So 15 subtract 7 is 8. And then 2 subtract 2 is nothing. So we're left with 85 degrees. So that means that angle I is equal to 85 degrees because of angles at a point AAP.